The state law that's at issue in this case is Tennessee's durational residency requirement, which is basically a fancy way of saying that in order to have an alcohol retailing license in Tennessee, you have to be a resident of the state of Tennessee, and you need to be a resident for 2 years. And then to renew that license, you have to have been a resident for 10 years. Obviously, that law advantages people that are in-state Tennessee residents and disadvantages people that are from out of state that are trying to establish a retail store in the state. Not only does it apply to the individual applying for the license, but like if a corporation is trying to apply for a retailing license in Tennessee, actually all of the directors and the officers of the corporation have to be Tennessee residents for 2 years or 10 years for renewing, and actually 100% of the stockholders of the company do as well. So it's a very rigorous, strict requirement that requires retailers to have a real in-state presence. And so the court's determining whether that law discriminates against out-of-state residents in a way that burdens interstate commerce and violates the Dormant Commerce Clause. The Dormant Commerce Clause plays into this case because it's derivative of the Commerce Clause itself, which of course gives Congress the power to regulate commerce among the states. And the idea was that in order to have a real flow of goods and trade in the country and a robust national economy, that you needed to make sure that states weren't passing laws that were protectionist, that were burdening interstate commerce by advantaging their own economic actors and citizens to the disadvantage of those that were out of state. So the key question in this case then is how the Dormant Commerce Clause and the 21st Amendment interact with each other and whether one kind of trumps the other one. As far as past Supreme Court decisions and precedents that will have a direct role in the decision in this case, there was the Bacchus case, which involved a taxation scheme in Hawaii for alcohol, and it set, I believe it was a 20% tax for all alcohol, but it exempted certain spirits that were native to Hawaii and that were only locally produced. And the Supreme Court said that unduly burdened interstate commerce inappropriately favored Hawaii producers and alcohol products over out-of-state products. Fast forward a couple years, in 2005 there was the landmark Granholm versus Heald case, which dealt with laws from Michigan and New York that protected in-state wineries in those states, allowed them to ship their wine directly to consumers in those states, but didn't allow out-of-state wineries to ship their wine to consumers. The court again stepped in and said that despite the robust state power that the 21st Amendment creates, the Dormant Commerce Clause still cuts across that and acts as a limiting mechanism on that, and you can't, as a state, pass economically discriminatory legislation in the alcohol markets. The best argument for Tennessee wine and spirits would be trying to cabin the past Supreme Court cases that have said that the Dormant Commerce Clause does limit the 21st Amendment, or cabin those to only involving alcohol products or producers of alcohol and not applying to retail licenses and the retail level of the alcohol marketplace. And kind of creating that way to differentiate those cases would give the court kind of a narrow holding that would allow it to uphold Tennessee's law without having to overturn some of its past cases. The best argument for the other side is that even though the 21st Amendment is robust and gives states a lot of control in the alcohol marketplace, the Dormant Commerce Clause still does limit it and still does cut across it. Even if the court were to hold in this case that the Dormant Commerce Clause overrides the 21st Amendment and that the Tennessee residency requirement should be struck down, I think they would be well suited to make an argument that there's still a lot of area left, a lot of space left for the states to be able to regulate their alcohol markets. The key question in the case will be the intersection of that Dormant Commerce Clause and the 21st Amendment, which grants a lot of power to states to control and to regulate alcohol.